Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are decoding the psychology of ultra-wealth. More importantly, we're looking at automated systems that totally replace grueling hard work.
Right. We are diving into the exact mechanisms, the ones that let people step off the treadmill for good.
It is a frustrating reality for so many. You trade your time for a salary, you put in the brutal hours, yet you never seem to get ahead. Exactly. It feels like sprinting on a treadmill. You desperately hope it takes you somewhere new, but really, you just keep sweating in place.
So consider this exact number, 0%. That is the exact percentage of the ultra-wealthy who rely solely on a salaried paycheck. 0. It's an absolute myth. You cannot simply save your way to true wealth, not by just clocking in and clocking out. It doesn't work.
So, who actually makes up that coveted 1%? They fall into four distinct camps. 75% are entrepreneurs building businesses, 15% are savvy investors.
And the rest? A tiny fraction rely on inheritance, or they have incredibly rare skills. But regardless of the category, they share one critical trait: absolute ownership.
Here is the harsh truth. If you don't own something, you are what is owned. Trading your time for money is a broken equation. It keeps you waiting for payday. To break free, you must shift your focus entirely. Shift it towards scalable leverage. You need to create assets that work while you sleep.
To escape that hamster wheel, you need an automated framework. Think of it as the 25, 15, 50, 10 rule. Right, first, 25% goes to scalable growth. Second, 15% for bulletproof stability. Third, 50% for your bare essentials. And fourth, 10% for guilt-free rewards. Let's start with principle 1, 25% for scalable growth. This rule dictates that a quarter of your income aggressively buys scalable assets. It's non-negotiable. This is the money that works for you in the background. It builds your foundation while you live your life.
Let's look at Billy and Phil. Billy invests just $200 a month starting at age 20. Phil waits until 30, but he invests $300 a month. Assuming a 10% average return, Billy ends up with over $1.26 million. Phil gets just under $678,000. Billy's early system completely obliterates Phil's later hard work. That is the magic of compound growth.
But where exactly do you put that money? It comes down to balancing risk and reward. Build your absolute foundation with low-risk index funds, like the S&P 500. From there, invest in medium-risk, high-income skills. Think coding or sales. Only once that base is rock solid should you chase high-risk moonshots, things like crypto or speculative alternatives. You also have to fiercely protect your growth. Route your money into tax-advantaged accounts. In the UK, that's a stocks and shares ISA. In the US, it's a Roth IRA or 401k. Ensure your wealth compounds completely tax-free. Do not hand over your hard-earned gains to the government unnecessarily. Use these legal, built-in frameworks. They exist entirely for your benefit.
Now we move to principle 2, 15% for bulletproof stability. This principle allocates 15% of your income to build a financial fortress.
Exactly. It is what keeps you securely in the game. When things go wrong, this fortress protects your investments.
This is your stability fund. It should be exactly 5 months of your baseline core expenses. Because here is a secret. Most people don't actually have an income problem.
Right. They have a stability problem. One unexpected bill ruins everything. It forces them to sell off hard-earned assets at a painful loss.
Just to survive the month. Your stability fund has 3 strict rules. First, it must be accessible within 24 hours. Second, it carries absolutely zero market risk. Never invest your emergency cash, period. And third,
it should earn 4 to 5% in a high-yield savings account. That way, it safely beats inflation. It waits patiently for you to need it.
You can stack this cash faster than you think. Start by automating a paycheck sweep. Move the money the exact moment you get paid. It removes the temptation to spend. Next, make a replacement promise. If you spend emergency funds, refill them instantly. Finally, use roundup apps. Your spare change constantly goes to work for you in the background.
Principle 3 brings us to bare essentials. You allocate 50% here. This rule forces you to cap the lifestyle that feeds your ego.
It's all about locking in your survival costs. You keep them strictly at half your income. No exceptions.
It is a shocking statistic. Over 60% of Americans earning well over $100,000 still live paycheck to paycheck. Why?
They fall victim to lifestyle creep. They become obsessed with looking rich to their peers. They completely forget to actually become rich. The more they make, the more they spend. They lock themselves back in the cage.
To fix this, aggressively shrink your two largest expenses, housing and transport. Try house hacking or renegotiating your rent.
And please stop leasing brand new cars just for neighborhood status. Drive reliable used cars. Avoid that massive depreciation. Cut what doesn't matter to your happiness. Funnel that money toward your freedom.
Willpower always fails eventually, but systems scale. Use this simple 7-day mental framework to bypass modern marketing traps. First, is this an impulse?
If yes, wait exactly 7 days. You will likely forget about it entirely. If you still want it, ask yourself, are you buying the brand logo or true value? Finally, will it tangibly improve your life?
Finally, Principle 4. 10% for guilt-free rewards. You must reserve 10% of your income for pure enjoyment.
This is crucial. Extreme financial diets simply do not last. You have to reward the system.
The data on this is incredibly clear. 92% of people overspend after intensive restrictive savings sprints. Only 8% actually sustain their discipline. Why is that? Because saving without joy feels like a prison sentence. You have to strategically schedule your joy. Treat it with the exact same seriousness as your investments. So, how do you do it? You preload your joy jar. Set up an automatic transfer of this final 10%. Move it into a totally separate bank account.
Dedicate it exclusively to memory-building experiences. Think vacations, hobbies, and thoughtful gifts. Prioritize experiences over material clutter. Ensure your hard work translates into a life you enjoy.
We arrive at the ultimate truth here. Build systems, not willpower. You now possess the blueprint.
It's time to stop acting like an employee. You need to start operating like an institution.
It all comes down to this core philosophy. Wealth isn't about grinding harder. It's the shift from working for money to making money work for you.
Exactly. Stop trading your heavily limited time. Start building the scalable leverage. That is what guarantees your absolute freedom.
The math is proven, and the systemic blueprint is yours. The only question left is this. Will you remain the owned, or will you build your systems and become the owner?
The choice to build leverage and claim your freedom is now entirely in your hands.